NRG. Fox, I felt like he was playing the Kai'Sa mid quite well, even though they lost the game. So I kind of hope that it's mid and he gets another chance at it. But of course, grabbing it early, definitely still flexible. And Golden Guardians will play around that. Maokai, easy frontline tank team fighting here, lock in for them. An answer with a bit of a flex themselves.
Yep.
Because Stixa has been one of the bottom laners to play it, although more people are accustomed to seeing it mid lane now with the Tristana.
Yeah. I mean, Stixa has always been a proponent of Tristana, even when it's not necessarily in the meta. So it's nice to see that Golden Guardians can now use that strength to their advantage here.
Especially because his lane partner is one of our premier Rel players. Huhi and Core JJ both having a field day with the new Rel.
Yeah.
Absolutely perfect champion right now for them. And you can always go with those Tristana Rel kill bottom lanes if your mid lane matchup doesn't work out.
And a cute little hover here before NRG go with their support choice. Yoink indeed. No Rel for Huhi, as now the Milio ban makes a lot more sense, as if you had the super mega fireball kick, you can always stop a crash down from Rel for the engage, and you always want a lot of CC whenever you're running a Kai'Sa composition.
Definitely do. Lots of dive potential. The Rel Kai'Sa will be deadly later on, and Licorice has had so much confidence to pick these Jax picks up on top side, to play any sort of counter magic, to play any sort of split push, and has continued to perform well after MSI. I think that's one of the biggest takeaways from Golden Guardians. In spring playoffs and MSI, the improvements from him, the confidence that the team has in him now too.
Yeah.
So they throw down that Jax right into the Renekton.
And I love the Alistar ban here. We saw last week that whenever the Rel starts becoming a flavor of the meta, again, Alistar is a great answer. You can always punt her out of Crashdown, taking that away from Huhi, as that is also historically a nice pick for him. As the Poppy comes in, another champion that not necessarily for support, but also for the top lane, and just being able to deny engage power from the side of Golden Guardians with that steadfast presence.
All right, we're going to continue to look at bottom side kill pressure champions to go along with Tristana, and indeed we are. So they supplement the Alistar taking off the Rakan. You can still do, you know, like the Nautilus Leona action down there if you really want to. Those engaged supports also work really well with jungle Maokai, so that you have the 1-2 combination and it's not just single point of failure on their engages. If you go with the Zyra, then it would be. So they decide they will double it up as expected and grab that Nautilus right back into it.
Guaranteed point and click CC not on one but two champions here for Golden Guardians, is now between both River and Huhi. You can pick one person on the side of NRG and say you're not going to get to play the this team fight out. I would love to see the Ivern again. I know the first time we saw it, it didn't look as great on stage, but this champion is nuts when piloted to the best.
It is nuts right now, especially, and I know Contracts has been practicing it even more all week since he played it last week, plus has put in more time this week, plus the champion is in an amazing spot on 312. And even after the slight nerfs on live on 13-13, you can still play it at home at a decently high level, even with some slight nerfs onto Daisy and some of the on-hit damage. So I completely agree. Plus, Ivern with the shields helps out if your Kai'Sa is going to get super aggressive here for FBI. Pop the shield on the Kai'Sa as he goes in for the dive bomb. Only thing to worry about is there going to be some level 1 shenanigans? Get a deep ward down there. See if we get any of that early counter jungling. But I like this so far, actually, from NRG. They've got some good, powerful early solo lanes for themselves, a kill bottom lane. So Ivern should be able to have the support of his laners to freely jungle, get through the early clears, and get into some playmaking action. So we can really see the highlights of this champion. Last time around, not the case at all. I'm glad that NRG and Contracts have the confidence to go right back to it. And this time around with some much better matchups for them to be able to do so.
I mean, across the board, even though Licorice has the confidence to take that Jackson to the Renekton can still have that wave advantage and priority first, being able to have access to the AoE clear off of his Q. Jace, strong lane bully, can always look to get that first shove in. And so as Ivern, you're not necessarily a strong champion before you get access to the Daisy, but against Maokai, you're not really in threat of getting invaded on either, so you can start looking for aggressive counter jungling invades with the power of using his passive into an instant smite.
And then later on, Daisy with a little shield help can pretty much take Maokai by herself.
Daisy's kind of nuts, yeah.
Daisy definitely pumps right now. We'll see about the build too. If he goes the Night Harvester build, then Daisy can really pump. We'll see if he goes the full support build.
Yeah.
Or a little bit leaning more into the AP. Looks like we're gonna have the opposite side fully loaded, so
30 seconds until minions spawn.
no combat, but a little bit of deeper vision.
They're tensing up like they would combat each other, but yeah, like you said, both of them unaware that they have fully occupied opposite ends of the map. And as you called out, it doesn't look like we're going to have the super aggressive Ivern build. It's not the press the attack as we've seen on a lot of the kind of the solo queue antics with the Summonary. Probably more a supportive build for contracts. And it's not like you're lacking in damage either. You have a Jace, you have a Renekton, you have a Kai'Sa. You know, as long as you keep them alive, you know, you've got damage in full supply.
Definitely do. And one of the most underrated parts about the changes to Ivern's kit was the addition of all the on-hit damage you can give people with good brush usage.
Yeah.
The brush is really underestimated as a very beneficial part of the kit, especially early on. The base values of the on-hit damage you can give people and you can get for yourself. Definitely part of the early possibilities.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, should just be him doing the full blue side channels into Raptor Red Smite. And by the way, the other thing they added for convenience is the Q getting the resets, reduce cooldown when you hit all these jungle camps.
Yeah.
So you want to spam that. You really want to spam it. It speeds up your clear so much. Being able to jump even just a little bit to each camp over the walls. And it should just be Red Smite into reverse clear. Yep, back up to the blue side. You could make an early stop towards your Renekton if you want to. See what Big Dokes is up to up there.
Yeah.
Should be communicating Licorice out of vision now. So they go, hey, Licorice could be warding right now. It's probably in river. If you wanted to take the long route up behind him, then you could do that. And Licorice is playing aggressively, so we're just gonna go straight up the river for it.
Yeah. As soon as Licorice starts walking backwards, you know, Contract's like, yeah, this guy's got the river bush warded, so he's gonna keep making his way back, but he's actually walking back on top side. Meanwhile, on the bottom lane, and all in, forcing Stixxay to burn one of his summoner spells, as well as a flash from Buhi. But it's summoner spells down from Ignar, while FBI still maintains advantage.
Yeah, both supports flashing onto enemy AD carries to try and help out with that trade, since FBI, I like the positioning. He was moving up, trying to get the extra autos on Stixxay, get that Tristana down. There's no more potions for him. Contract's gonna walk in and dissuade Gory from harassing Palafox, allow Palafox an easier time of getting all of those CS under the tower.
That's a curious alteration from Contracts, because the last time we saw the Ivern pick, he just went for the fastest clear possible, where he set up all the channels and just sped run through it, hit level 4, and was on the bottom side by like before 330. But this time, making stops at top lane, stops in mid lane as well, to at least offset some pressures. They look for a little bit of love damage, but Palafox is too chunked out. He can't really assist in the gank.
River walks through, but Ignar's here first.
And they turn it around. They're just going to flash right on top of Gory. And because of how Ivern Qs work, everyone gets a free access pass onto Gory for first blood. And now the rest of Golden Guardians have to retreat.
Yeah, they got to get out of there because teleport was used from Dokla to mid lane. And his wave stuck up on top side. They get the chase.
And River, he still has flash to play with. Looks like he's walking on out thanks to Huhi stunting NRG's entrance.
That was actually very bad for NRG that they got that pick, because Dokla had to stick around, and he's still fully sacking here. Licorice is just farming on top side, but NRG aren't going to get anything down here out of that teleport from Dokla, so Best call is to have Palafox teleport up there.
Yeah.
Just get Palafox his reset and do a little lane swap here, because Jax is trying to push that wave in. Licorice is now finished up with it. Wonder how many minions topside they will miss. Looks like no cannon, so a few.
Could have been worse.
Could have been worse. No problem, really. No big hiccup for them, and they're very happy to get the first blood money, even though unfortunately it did go to Ignite with the last hit. So your Rel does get the lion's share. Still happy to grab it.
You know what that means? It's time to build AP Rel. Do it.
It is not time. I don't think it is ever time for,
What if he
AP
gets
Rel.
5 more kills, Cody?
Okay, I'm down. I'm down.
All right, 5 more kills, and then you are permitted to build AP Rel Ignar. That's the condition.
Ready to see it happen. Otherwise, I would rather see, of course, the Even Shroud. Amp that damage for your teammates. It just works so well with the kit. You have so much CC. Moving the stun over to the Q. Really easy to get that. W's and ultimates and contracts. Patience pays off.
Nice. Stun into the Q, but Flicker's just answering back with the Counter-Strike stun, and that's the end of that game. Ogori, I mean, he still has Flash to play with, but Palafox, does he want to wager? Nope. Just going to be content with forcing Gory out, and the fact that he doesn't have teleport means he's going to have to pick up this wave another time.
Exactly. Gonna have to drop a bunch of it, actually. He's got 2 biscuits, but he's so low from that chunk from Palafox. Goodbye, minions. Goodbye, Johnny. Goodbye, Steven.
And Contract's making a repeat gank on the top side of the map. Licorice, Counter-Strike stun is already used, and the Q connects, and clean stuff from NRG.
Love it. Going to visit these solo laners, kind of like you see from Champ Select, and them setting up with those strong solo laner advantages, playing off of the Ivern right to what they've drafted themselves. Much better time around here for NRG than the beginning of the split.
Yeah.
They had a really rocky start. They looked pretty upset with themselves, honestly, after a lot of those games. They did not expect to come out that sluggishly, but starting to get back on track.
Yeah.
After taking down Cloud9, that always does a lot for the morale for the team, and Contracts has been loving this Ivern pick, so he's happy to get back onto it and affording them 2 early kills with it, but a dragon start for River, so NRG have gotten the kills, but Golden Guardians starting out and should be able to secure the first objective of the game.
I don't think Contracts is going to chance for a steal. Thought about it, definitely looked like maybe they want to look for the after engage as he pops Daisy. But assuming that Golden Guardians get out with no scuffle. You brought up something, and I kind of want to touch on it, about a lot of expectations for many teams are not being met this season. I mean, NRG is also one of them, where they swapped out bot lane, FBI and Ignar, and they have not been living up to kind of what they wanted to get out of this bot lane swap. They ended the regular season in spring at 4th, expecting, okay, with this bot lane upgrade, we should be dominating the split, and has not been that so far yet.
Yeah, certainly hasn't. Meanwhile, top side of the map, off of the reset here, Contract starts it up on Vision. And so while it is pretty effortless to do a Daisy, and you can just constantly shield Daisy, no problem, there was Vision here. Looks like with the recall from Huhi, though, the call's been made. It's fine, we sacrifice it. We got Dragon. They get Rift Herald. They'll get the extra pushing power. Nice pickup here, and with Ignar roaming over from that bottom lane and lending that extra support, while Huhi went for the recall. It's gonna be the end of this story for NRG with their Rift Herald ready to go. Dokla did pop the ultimate for that little bit of a trade. Licorice down to 50% health and no sustain in his pockets. Means it is a little bit of a soft point up here for now. Wonder if Contracts channels and then tries to get back there, because Dokla should be able to get those into tower here. And Licorice with no teleport is going to stick around to scrape them up. Will he drop any? Shouldn't. Pretty easy to get the rest of them.
Yeah. Especially with them W on Jack being able to get that empowered last hit.
One of the other big things about Ivern is I love it when the meta switches over to engage supports, because They will have the damage. Just go get your engaged support, collect your support, and go look for your roam plays. Meanwhile, River was seen on the ward, so Dokla knows no problem for him. He's got Ignar roaming around as we speak on the rel. Classic Ignar, always looking out to leave from bottom lane, and linking up with an Ivern as an engaged support, you just feel like you are God mode. You can jump in. Rel already has big shields. They're going for the plan to Licorice.
Trying to wait out the Counter-Strike stun from Dokla, and then he flashes in to secure the stun, but they cannot link up Daisy and Ivern's root. But Ignar, he's gonna flash stun into the crash down, and the Ignite ticking down. Ignar takes that kill for himself.
I would say, take notes, junglers, because right now, on the live patch, they actually gave buffs to jungle rel, buffing back some of the clear damage that they kind of hot fixed out. So the only real, well, there's a couple combos, but that's the easiest one. Getting your Q into your crash down now was the biggest change as far as the like mini rework, so that you can now guarantee a lot of crash downs. Your ultimate combos are pretty easy to pull off, so just look for your Qs, setups into your crash downs. Ignar there, knowing that he's got the damage with his Ignite as well, is able to secure it, and I definitely plan myself when we go home to hop on the horse, see how fun it is to jungle now, but...
Uh-oh, well, Contracts needs to hop on out. Flashing out of danger, Nature's Wrath makes its way across multiple members of NRG, but it's a double teleport from the solo lanes of Dokla and Palafox as they want the chase. They are hungry for blood, and FBI using the killer's instincts to dive onto Gory, but it forces the shuffle out, and he gets out alive.
And again, with this teleport in from Dokla on top side, the Jax is going to free push. Let's see if Licorice can actually get a turret plate in time. He's pushing as hard as he can on top side wave. Dokla running at him with the Sheen, should be able to get at least one for himself. Good escape from the Golden Guardians through River. Gory did have to flash, but the W from River, Maokai Wing onto the Scuttle Crab's always so nice to be able to use the Scuttle as a little dash for yourself to retreat.
Like a little taxi.
Exactly. The Scuttle Taxi service called him right up. Gory, of course, going to be a lot more vulnerable now, though, for Dragon Spawn. Only 20 seconds away. We'll see about the reset here for NRG. And if they want to actually walk top laners down. Daisy's already out and ready to play.
Nice. Oh, wait.
They had you in the first half?
Yeah, they had me in the first half, and I was like, oh, this is a Contracts appreciation tweet. And it's like, wait, you're bashing him. Man. Well, we'll see if Contracts can pick up a win on the Ivern and make it a 50-50 at least, and not just a straight up 0%. Dragon is alive, and it seems that NRG are the first ones to the punch here.
Yeah, I think they'll be the last ones to the punch as well, since it's pretty hard for Golden Guardians to retake this vision. Actually, Contracts is recalling, so they don't want to start it out. And River gets his full base off. So not going to be any sort of priority here for NRG, and it's going to go the other way. Since bottom lane pushes in, Golden Guardians, they've got Azir ultimate backup for Gory. They've got everything ready to go from the bottom lane.
Yeah.
But it's fully warded up. So it might just be some sapling spam to set it.
Contracts has completed his Moonstone.
Problem is, Golden Guardians have teleport advantage now from top lane since NRG whiffed on the last play. So NRG poking around to try and stall them here could be dangerous. Dokla's walking his way down, so if they could stall for another couple seconds, Dokla could get here. Teleport from Licorice would be necessary from Golden Guardians.
Licorice wants to get a recall off, but is forced to use the teleport now because now all members of NRG have shown up. They're just doing it to guarantee, but the crash down into the Magnastorm does not hit anyone. River gets out of there alive. Dragon is reset and into the backline. FBI's trying to leap in there, but Contracts is also blinking down on HP. FBI's already found one, but FBI's got to put out the damage against Gory, who's routed him off, but Daisy is walloping and punching him down, but it's still not enough damage. Dokla will slice and be the ender of multiple members of Golden Guardians as Contracts now on the run. Stixxay looking for another reset with the rocket jump, but cannot get enough auto attack damage. What a fiesta from here. Golden Guardians Energy are just scrapping on both sides, and Contracts does not go down. The deadly shield catches him by surprise. No one's gonna claim the dragon, but man, oh man. Oh, actually,
He doesn't have smite. He doesn't have smite. He can't yoink this. Ivan counter jungling is only allowed if you have smite. It gets the channel off. Can't wait around for it though. The rest of the Golden Guardians can chase them out of the jungle, and the dragon was secured by Golden Guardians as well. So we are again in an interesting scenario. Both dragons for Golden Guardians, but all the money in the advantage of NRG. Over a 2,000 gold lead if we get back alive. But here's a look at how it started out, and that Maokai ultimate did do a lot of work, but Gory as well up here shoves the rest of them in, and so it's pretty close on the exit. And the big difference maker is Daisy. Still getting so much work done. The shield here from Contracts allows them to chase down the extra kill. And then you know the end of this story. Even though it's a triple kill for Stixxay, he couldn't quite get vision on Contracts in that little brush around the corner, even though he tried to ward the brush in time to kill the Ivern. He got surprise killed, and so that triple kill bounty that Stixxay just got in the team fight was immediately claimed, and Dokla is a very rich crocodile.
He is huge. I mean, solid 1,400 gold lead over Licorice at the moment. It's going to be very difficult for him to split push against Dokla in the side lane. Should be maintaining a lot of pressure, which is already reason why River is forced to hover just to make sure Dokla doesn't find a solo kill on him anytime soon.
They do have Maokai ultimate. You can drop turret aggro with your W if your Maokai wants to go start out tanking tower and save the Twisted Advance, but they lead with ult.
Dominus is available. He tries to flash away under tower, but it's a nice bonk and well-played dive from Golden Guardians, but the last turret shot is enough to find Licorice. And now Golden Guardians are on the run. Can Contracts find the Root Maker? Gets the smite for the slow. River is just getting auto-attacked to death before he lands the easy Q, and it's an easy revenge kill for NRG.
And even though Tristana's mid, the demolition AD carry, there's no time alone with that turret, so Golden Guardians don't get to answer mid. They do get to answer top, so they drop two for one, but they get a top side turret. Looks like Jace is going to counter push on bottom side. Now, the thing I was just mentioning about Twisted Advance dropping turret aggro, that was also the problem that they led into there. Since Maokai led with the W, it trolled Licorice a little bit, and he instantly got turret aggro, being only 2 turret shots from death, so him going down.
Yeah.
In that scenario, you probably want to just walk up as Maokai, following your ultimate, and Q them first, and tank it so that Licorice can add that damage, because that extra Jax damage definitely does matter.
Yeah. As we take a look back at the replay, it's pretty much what you said. He has a full health bar to work with, but dropping turret aggro onto a squish your Jax.
Yeah, so like you can W if the Jax waits until after you come out of the Twist Advance and then you retake your aggro and then go, but by then, you know, what's the point? So like walking up and going with the Q out of ultimate. Oh man, is he gonna die again down here for?
Oh no, the teleport is coming in.
Get the turret.
Douglas like, hey buddy, remember the dive, the 2v1? Well, I got 3-on-1 for you this time, and there is no way out for Mr. Eric Ritchie. And Valfox cleans up that one.
Back to the scene of the crime. NRG are able to get him again with the teleport. And guess what? 50 seconds on Dragon. That will be a teleport advantage now for Golden Guardians. They've got both Gory and Licorice's up. But I wonder if this gold lead is just too much for them. See if the item completions are really starting to be painful here. Fox with the early Dust Blade. They use Rift Herald on bottom side to push even deeper. Oof. Another one. Secondary turret taken for NRG as well. Nice coordination here. Hard counter push with the Daisy, with the Rift Herald. Before they even have Dragon arrive, they've fully taken control of the area. Looks like it should be a call off here for Golden Guardians. And sad thing for them is not even a cross map play available.
Yeah.
So you can't even really say, hey, we're gonna get a little bit of, you know, top gold. It's basically just a minion wave up there. So should be plenty of time for a reset after Dragon for NRG to defend and not let Golden Guardians get too much back.
I mean, at the very most, they can get some vision control in the river for the Baron setup, but the way that item spikes are for Golden Guardians, they're not really strong enough to force a Baron. They would take way too much damage before they even threaten it, and then NRG would get an easy cleanup. So it's too dangerous to make that play.
Yeah, it's multiple 2-item power spikes on NRG to 0 2-item combinations here for Golden Guardians. Plus, they had just lost all vision in the counterplay off of the second pick. So, have to say, NRG, even though it was a really rough start to summer at the very beginning, climbing their way back, looking so much better. A lot of it has been on multiple rel picks for Ignar and him roaming around as well. But the coordination, definitely a lot better for them as well. Let's see about the execution later on. They do have a pretty nasty setup. We already saw the chase potential of the Kai'Sa. FBI jump right in there. Got the extra shields from contracts. So while you have a Maokai and Golden Guardians, it's kind of hard to control NRG even with the very big amount of CC that you're going to be able to bring.
Would have been a cheeky steal if FBI's Void Seeker had laid claim to the red buff, but is secured by Golden Guardians. As right now, it's just a dance of vision control right now. Kobe on the top side of the map. Currently, NRG are winning that vision war.
And the game plan now for NRG, everything accomplished here early game. Great job, thumbs up. We're 20 minutes in. Now we get to take full advantage of our Jace pick. Poke damage. It's always been Premier versus Azir through every iteration of Azir. Has always been one of the things that was most difficult to deal with. So you fully take control of jungle, set up your vision, and then throw out this Muramana transformed Duskblade Jace poke over and over and just get value there. Value, value, value. Get some poke, get some chip, force them to come to these objectives. Use your Ivern Brush, use your Daisy. And then if they overextend, once they get into a bad spot, you actually have the snap rel engage. Or if, you know, a stray Ivern Q actually does land, then they've got the options. But Jace currently split pushing on bottom, so unless you bring a solo laner switch and bring the Jace over to the Baron, have the Renekton push out and threaten the teleports, then aren't going to be able to get that extra poke value that you're looking for with this comp. Meanwhile, River, happy to set up on Maokai. I am first strike, demonic Maokai, so filling up every brush he can with the saplings, and NRG are going to do it here. Palafox isn't there yet for the poke, but they're going to start it anyway and try and force Golden Guardian's hand. There we go.
Maybe at the most, they can get some summoner spells off of Golden Guardians. River has a flash, so they can always, at the most, throw a sapling and then make a Hail Mary attempt to steal the Baron away at his 4,000 HP. They're going to throw out the Nature's Wrath, which will give them vision, and then NRG are going to make the call to back off the Baron. The Baron will surely reset. They have now gained an ult advantage, and they make the play off of it. It has died down. All right, well, Golden Guardians stop the Baron for now, and I thought NRG were ready to jump on top of them, but it was all the poke that they needed.
Yeah, they do get that Maokai ultimate out and dodge around effectively, but felt like pretty good game of dodgeball from from Golden Guardians, and so nobody got really in danger there, and I guess they both just decided to call it off since Daisy gets killed off also.
Yeah.
That's like half of Ivern right now. So Daisy down, no Maokai ultimates, and they call the first dodgeball game a draw.
Neither side really won on the exchange, but at least for Golden Guardians, they diminish the pressure from NRG as they want to still buy time for themselves, as a lot of these champions are going to scale further and further into the game. Yes, NRG, you have scaling poke factors, but if you can always just force a fight, you should be advantageous in the team fighting aspect.
Yeah, maybe shift their focus down to the dragon and get the lesser objective first. It's not really a big threat of Golden Guardians pulling a sneak play up here, since you have Scuttle Crab, you have pre-existing wards up on Baron, and maybe they get a pick of their own, though. The Ivern Q does land and they take it.
Stun on a River, but he's pretty tanky even with only Demonic Embrace, but he's forced to flash away. He doesn't want to lose too much HP off the exchange.
Palafox walks his way up the river, so they got a little bit of a poke and another small cooldown here. No flash on Maokai. Gory still has his crown up. So the dodgeball, especially from Gory, is very important. Wants to keep that crown proc. Pretty hard for him. Has to dodge all these Iron Qs, all these Jace shock blasts, and they're going right back to it. Here we go, round 2.
This time, Gory and Huhi are in the inside of this river track. Palafox is separated, but the Magna Storm is going to cut off Huhi, and Huhi just gets blown up by NRG. That's a member gone from Golden Guardians, but they're looking for the re-engage with the Nature's Wrath. Doklas buys some space. Right now for the front line, Daisy is still tanking up and maintaining aggro of Baron, so the Baron does not drop, but River has the blast cone. He can get in over a steal. The steal, it doesn't happen. Dokla's the one that secures it. River's got nowhere to go because he doesn't have flash. Gory looks for a Hail Mary and a Palafox, but he flashes away, and now Gory's just sent himself to die at the hands of NRG, but Stixxay looking for the reset. Lookerish, left for a counter-strike. He can set up for Stixxay. He's looking for more buster shots and more rocket jumps, but he hops away. NRG are gonna get out alive.
Licorice trying to get together any bit of counters, kills in the aftermath. Can only grab the one though, so big win for NRG. Golden Guardians will be pushed off by the teleport here, but Dragon is available. Objective bounty shutdown is on it. Golden Guardians have no smite though. River's gonna have to run all the way from base, and I think NRG, especially with the Baron empowered recalls, they'll be able to chase them off this counter engage. Maokai will not have an ultimate for this Dragon if Golden Guardians really are trying to force. It looks like Licorice is. A little bit of frustration here. Who he gonna wrap around? Can he get the flank? There's no flash on any NRG carry.
Dude, he spotted, he flashes in, but he gets the depth charge right into the backline. Contracts is knocked up, and they've blown up Dokla, and that's the main front line gone for NRG. That's the Dragon going over to Golden Guardians.
Huhi with the big flank. Golden Guardians cash in on the objective bounty. So even though they lost out around Baron, they get the Dragon. That's number 3, plus a decent amount of gold with the objective bounty shutdown. Still very advantageous for NRG, of course, but the little things here for Golden Guardians to try and keep themselves away back into this game. Let's take another look at how it all started out. The vision dial from NRG allows them to just go for the snap engage from Ignar. They don't have to wait around for poke. Ignar sees Huhi in the middle of the river. They immediately delete him, and then even with Maokai ultimate trying to set up a counter engage here, NRG just go for the chase down. Baron continually leashed here by Daisy. Blast Cone allows River in, but Dokla finishes it. So yeah, the smite right just above 1200. Close there, but no cigar. Dokla gets it, and Dokla barely lives at the end too, as he was buster shotted out. Gory the last chase down, and you know Licorice is gonna be a flash follow, but Palafox and the rest of NRG still coming to town with the Baron buff, pushing down these turrets.
Inhibitor tower falls now, thanks to the Baron buff. 2 empowered cannon minions making quick work of the inhibitor. That is the first step of laying waste to Golden Guardians base. Baron buff about to time out in the next 15 seconds here, so no more Baron sieging for the side of NRG. And oh man,
he knew it. He knew it too. He knew he was doomed as soon as Jat started talking, said he was gonna flop. You can see it on the Nero's face. I think he's in pain the whole time, it looked like.
And Nero after this video is like, Jat, please just vote against us every single time. I swear, I beg of you, never, ever, ever, ever vote for us again.
All right, looks pretty good for NRG after the Baron push though. Topside inhibitor being down, full momentum here. They can just now swing on over, rotate to a 4-1 split push for themselves. Ivern Siege, you've got a level 16 Jace here, triple item power spike. Keep up the pressure with supers slowly working on the top side. And Golden Guardians trying to defend. Gory, Azir ultimate ready. Flash will be ready pretty soon too. If they want to make a big play, he has Flash and Stopwatch.
Yeah.
He built the crown, so if you're able to dodge enough of the poke and keep your crown active, he's dodging the Kaisa, he's dodging the Jace now. Maybe they can try and fight their way back into it.
First step, crown neutralized. Next time Gory walks up, it's gonna be a lot more damage coming his way if it's a Void Seeker or an empowered Shock Blast to the face.
All right, see if NRG can rotate everybody to bottom side and make use of this minion wave, because Jax is showing top. So even if Licorice teleports. It'd be a while. Good move from Golden Guardians, though. They move up. They instantly clear this wave. Gory's crown actually just came back up, so it's able to block that Kaisa W. And it's right back down.
This is the poke composition, and it's fine. It's just poking and prodding, trying to whittle down the defenses of Golden Guardians, as it is still another minute before Baron and Dragon spawn. I imagine that NRG will want to just secure the Dragon before they make their way over to the Baron side, as it should be an easier objective for them to secure, and it is soul point for Golden Guardians.
They do have this Ivern with the Staff of Flowing Water completed and fully stacked Dark Steel as well. Decent amount of AP coming through. But NRG unable to crack more than a single inhibitor, and if there's not a lot of pressure on the map, and especially when there's no objectives out there, a single inhibitor is super easy to deal with. Licorice is actually even happy because he farmed Krugs plus the super minions coming from NRG side, kill off their wave. Then he just goes, finishes up that super wave as well. So this Jax hasn't been, big star of the game or anything, but continually completing items now and even finishes up the Zonias. That's what you need to be able to team fight effectively with this champion. Having that little mid-fight reset, you can use your E, you can gain some extra time with the stopwatch when you're under threat. You can get another E off. We'll see if they can actually navigate the fight effectively, because Daisy's back out and Dragon's up in 10.
They're gonna push into the top side jungle first, try to bully Golden Guardians to the further extent before looping on back to Dragon, as in now it is spawned.
And you only need a player or two to be able to finish off that Dragon. You have to overcommit. Pretty easy. Fox is going to take care of it himself. And the rest of them keep up the pressure around mid to make sure there's no counterplay. So very easily collected by NRG. Topside tended to again by Licorice, trying to push out those supers while the rest of the team keeps their vision of Baron. And they do have an extra Scryer's Bloom too to remain safe. But it's just a small objective there for CLG of Cloud Dragon number 2 for them. It is a denial, of course, but Golden Guardians still able to keep fairly stable here. Clear out more of the super minions, buy some more time for that inhibitor to spawn, keep plenty of vision through their red quadrant of the jungle to set up for this next Baron arriving.
Yeah. It's been a measured game from NRG, not necessarily the most decisive one, but it has been careful and patient. They have not tried to overextend a lot of their advantage, as they've been wanting to decisively make sure that this win is secured.
And you gain a lot of value here with all of these support items on the Ivern. Now, also having the Ardent here, Contracts provides so much.
Ooh, he's in fog. Oh, yeah, and now he's exposed, but FBI is all by himself, but he uses the killer instinct to jump on the other side of the wall. Now Hui is looking sheepish. He's gonna find Ignar, and that's just a tank support trade. Unless Ignar actually gets out alive, the explosive charge, the shield from Contracts keeps him alive, and a double shield just adds insult to injury. Golden Guardians find themselves without their junglers. They look for the engage. FBI is gonna clean it up here. Dokla slices down Stixay. The Root Maker roots him on up. The flash, he can't get away out of that one. FBI finds him, and he's gonna look for more.
Yeah, go for the end. Go for the end, maybe. NRG, everybody's up. No Stixay, no Hui. River on 13. They're going for a flank. Yeah.
All right.
They can just go topside, though. The inhibitor's already exposed up here. They've got plenty of minions to work with. Okay, maybe no ends. There's still two people down. They can just retreat to Baron, a little bit safer of a play. Grab your inhibitor, retreat back over to the Baron, then return with the Baron sieging power.
Started on up by NRG here. Solo laner is keeping it down 9,000 HP. Licorice is waiting in the wings. River's up, but I don't think he's going to get anywhere near this Baron.
Should be secured here. See if there's any magic on the side of Golden Guardians. Nice little juke boots from River, but he's going to need more than that.
Easy secure for NRG. Baron. Nicely done, but Licorice is now going to jump on them in the aftermath. Goes Golden, and it's a teleport coming in from Gory. He has Ember Survive. He has Flash. Can he catch them out by surprise? FBI is taken out of the fight. Palafox as well. Gory swoops on in. Looks like Dokla's going to be left to the wolves of Golden Guardians. He's going to sustain himself as long as he can, but I don't think he's getting out of this one. No teleport available, and no real way to run out of this one. At least it is consolation prize for Golden Guardians. The 6A will get himself another kill, but the Baron buff was secure for NRG, and that's all that they need.
Interesting. This is actually going to buy a lot of time. We've had back-to-back pretty long games. I believe the last one was longest of the split. I know 41 minutes was the record previous to that one, and we got right up against it. Looks like this one probably will delay a bit too, since Baron buff gets cut down. They picked off 2 here for Golden Guardians. Licorice lying in wait in that brush, biding his time. He goes in, makes full use of that Zhonya's, starts it out. He gets the stun. They collect the picks. So Golden Guardians now back on a similar timer. They got to clear out a lot of these top lane supers. They want to try and feed that money into Licorice while retaining their defenses on the other side of the map. Can NRG actually push this timer ahead with Baron buff? Can they get inside and crack the rest of these inhibitor towers?
Cannon minions doing nice work, but for Golden Guardians, they delete the minions without ease. No real damage onto the inhibitor towers.
I mean, they've got Azir clear with Tristana almost fully leveled, almost max range late game Tristana. Passive plus the lethal tempo. 6-8, of course, very famous with this champion. Won his championship on CLG with it. River getting poked down. We're finally seeing some of the returns for the double poke options when they both do land. And the siege continues. Ivern brush siege. We slowly move up the line.
The forest is inching slowly closer and closer.
The Trents are attacking.
The ends are going to fall.
Now the inhibitor tower is going to fall. And now NRG are making their march into the base. Inhibitor should be the next target here as Dokla is handling Licorice in the middle lane. Inhibitor still down for Golden Guardians on the top side of the map.
We're in.
They got the brushes, they got the extra on-hit damage. Redemption is used just to give them a little bit of extra health, but the empowered candy minion hiding in the brush. Oh, it stopped attacking the inhibitor. They're gonna have to walk back on up, and Azir has set up his tower. Gory is gonna use that for extra defense. Dokla has popped the Dominus, trying to sustain as much damage as he can. Has a GA, but he's in the middle of 3. They have Daisy trying to frontline, and Dokla gets to walk on out, sacrificing Daisy in the long run, and Golden Guardians are still holding on to this base, Kobe.
Oh my goodness. All right, they defend the inhibitor. They get back for the topside supers too, so they won't lose any Nexus turret damage for the topside ones. They know this is only Cloud Drake number 3 too. So Golden Guardians successfully defend, just barely keeping the inhibitor standing, buying more time though for their Tristana Azir dual late game carry. We are basically there for them for the late game, Rafa. They have been able to bide their time on that knife's edge, defending just enough, getting just enough dragons. And even though it is over a 7,500 gold lead for NRG, Golden Guardians making that gold lead less and less meaningful as they now have 4 item completed Azir. Tristana also 4 items looking to follow up here. 426 farm for Stixay.
I mean, if you're able to find and engage as Golden Guardians before the poke starts settling in, you can rip through the fights as a fully fed Tristana. And Stixay has definitely clutched out fights before in his career when, in the heat of battle, he'll let his instincts take over. And in the most clutch ways, he usually comes out on top. So this would be a moment, despite the gold advantage that NRG have, it doesn't seem like they really have a pressing advantage that much over Golden Guardians.
Yeah, plus item inventories fill up very quickly. I mentioned a while ago how impactful Ivern is with all this support itemization. It's really strong in mid-game team fights, but late game, support itemization is so cheap, you're one of the ones that fills up your inventory the quickest.
Yeah.
And so a lot of that value ends up falling off towards the late game because you've got all these cheap items in inventory and a bunch of extra gold. I believe right now, even if you look at it, he's got 1,800 gold in inventory for the Ivern. And the only thing really to upgrade with the existing stuff is like go to Medjai's on your 10 stack ring, which is probably the move.
But will he have time to go back and buy it? Will this be the potential last fight here as the teleport comes in from Licorice. And they already are setting up priority in the middle skirmish.
It hits. It
So
easy
they-
gets
ooh,
shot in the head.
That could have been close. The Void Seeker does not find its mark, but it almost did on a 6A, and he would have been chunked out. A lot of potential damage coming in from FBI whenever he gets to complete those passive marks. It is so close. It is so tense. Baron,
This Ivern skin, by the way, is one of the most troll in the entire game.
oh, River maybe. It's a lot of damage. FBI goes for the Killer Instinct, and he uses the Raptors as a taxi with the Twisted Advance. He gets out, but he is chunked. And NRG are going to pull the trigger on this Baron surely.
Huge poke potential. River on the receiving end. He could go heal off of Krugs. Go up there, get that kill. Or they're just going to reset, and Stixay does get away for now.
I mean, Stixay is definitely came with the blue suede shoes. He is dancing around
He's
a
in.
lot of. Oh, he's in there. Who? He gets blown up. And now can Golden Guardians follow up in the engage? Otherwise, the support trade will be for nothing. They find Dokla. So support for top laners, great for Golden Guardians if they can main battle lines here. Palafox was chunked out, but he's got teleport, so he can come back into this fight.
And we're about to hit that 41-minute mark, too. Late game, big damage potential, so anybody get caught for a second, dead instantly here. He saw the angle, he starts it out, pretty big engage for Golden Guardians, but he gets melted as they're getting the pick on Dokla. In the aftermath, Golden Guardians can at least finally kill the outer turret over 41 minutes into the game here. But their defense is complete at this stage.
Yep.
6 dragons have fallen during this time. Golden Guardians have really weathered the storm, though, and the gold lead no longer really means much at all, as Anathema's chains also now finished for River. When it only takes a second or two of damage to kill somebody at this point, a second or two of extra CC does mean a lot.
Could be the difference maker as they find a pick on the Licorice, but he goes golden with the Zonias, but he's still separated from everyone else. But he leaps on over. Ignar follows up. Licorice is gone. The Magnustorm and the multiple members. Then it's a trade back onto Ignar's life. Golden Guardians 4-on-4 now. NRG, can they make the most out of this trade? Dragon is spawning in 25 seconds, but they don't have the support to make another engaged play.
Nobody can live. If you make a pick, be very wary about jumping into follow-up as a melee champion, because there is a small chance that you will come out alive. So Ignar does follow up, and they get the kill again onto Licorice, but is another top laner for support trade. Last time around, it was reversed as far as the teams go, but NRG, now they're poking around again.
Oh, FBI goes for the Killer Instinct. He gets locked up, but they take out Huhi first. Gory 6A, they have to clean up the damage, but FBI's gone. And now it's just Palafox, Dokla flashing in, but Gory goes golden at the right time. Dokla loses all of his HP. He's forced to retreat. And Golden Guardians have bullied NRG off the Baron. They can look to burn it down.
Golden Guardians are going to start it up. There's plenty of vision for them. And NRG are going to go for the Dragon instead. That's going to be a Baron for Dragon Soul trade. Cloud Dragon picked up in trade for Baron. This for sure is going to be our longest game.
Kobe, I'm calling it. This is certified banger status right now. Golden Guardians and NRG going the distance on this game. I know this summer split, we've had a lot of stomps, a lot of one-sided games, but man, oh man, I love casting games like this because you never know what's going to happen next.
I want to see if Ivern can go like for a death cap or something, because does benefit a lot
Build
for
AP.
AP, and you stack up a lot of gold in late game. So
How much gold is he sitting on?
what can he do?
Oh, Cosmic Drive. All right.
Okay.
It's
He
not
didn't
the
have enough. He didn't have enough for a death cap. But Cosmic Drive, yeah, the extra speed to navigate the team fights, the extra ability haste, and Banshee's Veil picked up here. Spell shields in late game definitely can be the difference between life and death. The last one we saw, FBI jumped in with the Killer Instinct. It truly was a Killer Instinct moment in onto the Nautilus, but then immediately he got swept out by Azir, got blasted. So they got the pick again, but whoever's getting the pick here is always getting killed afterwards.
Looking for Licorice, but the Counter-Strike dodges the stun here.
Okay.
Ignar
Oh!
dodges out on the dredge line, and Dokla's way too far on enemy lines. He doesn't have a GA to work with. The shields, is he going to live through the explosive charge? The GA still keeps him alive. Didn't realize he still had it. Ignar now in danger. He gets taken out by Gory. Golden Guardians have withstood the storm. The poking from NRG's composition is starting to fall in favor of the massive team fighting composition that Golden Guardians have built.
Maokai Ultimate, the slow and insidious killer. It got the catch that got them the trailing kills, and now Golden Guardians with Baron, can they be the ones to truly leave a lasting mark? We have officially passed the duration of our previous game. So back-to-back longest games of the split. This is our new longest game of the split.
I know the audience loves a banger like this one. We got to see both teams really tested at their limits. Now NRG recuperating, seeing if they can find a pick on the Golden Guardian members. A few of them are low on HP. If they can find a pick before they get a chance to set up for this vision control, but Elder is not spawning for another 3.5 minutes, so there's plenty of time for Golden Guardians to regroup.
So League of Legends games, as we take another look at the initiation here, Dokla went in, he used his slice and dice, so he didn't have anything to get away from Maokai Ultimate. That's why he gets trapped. They use Redemption, they use Iron Shield to try and keep him up. He eventually does proc the GA, but that gives them the health lead and the distance for Golden Guardians to keep up the chase and pick Ignar. So even though the Renekton off of GA still survives, that GA cooldown being down for the next big team fight, which at this point should be game ending, and causing Ignar to get picked meant they do lose their inhibitor. As far as the overall structure of League of Legends though, you know, we've had this change where with, we're gonna be the extra
with no magic resist, has a GA to work with. That is pretty much the only saving grace that he has.
All right, can we make 50 minutes? I feel like 50 minutes is pretty close to the extremes that we used to get to in an old League of Legends, pre-Elder Dragons. See if we can get 50 plus this time. I think one of the big things in this game is that with the poke damage from NRG's comp, we haven't seen a lot of the benefits of it. They haven't actually gotten too much value out of it. Too many of those landing and actually turning into big energy gains. It's one of the biggest things for Golden Guardians. You know, a lot of good defense work for them, clearing out waves, dodging when necessary, and taking the opportunities to pull, but see if they can find it here in the defense. NRG now are the ones on the back foot with their mid inhibitor down. Remember that they still have Cloud Soul. That is not going to be taken away ever. So they have that extra quick follow-up.
I definitely need the movement speed to be able to keep up with the engage on the Golden Guardians, because their ability to disengage and get out of a fight is in a surplus here. You have Buster Shot, you have Twisted Advance, or the Nature's Wrath, Emperor's Divide to push people away. Normally, the Death Charge is used to engage, but you can stall an engage from happening if you just get a multi-knockup on the entire front line and the engaging force of NRG. So when NRG commit to a fight, you better hope that you can just pick off the target quickly. Otherwise, the elongated fight after usually favors Golden Guardians.
Here we go. Elder and Baron arriving only a few seconds apart. And Golden Guardians have the first priority.
Golden Guardians going to be walking on over. Baron comes up in 35 seconds. Elder in 42. Golden Guardians have the pick of the litter of which objective they want to start off first.
2 more minutes. Can we get there? 50 minutes. Let's go. I feel like we're going to make it.
You have the potential to do it, Kobe.
Minions exploding. 907.
Dude, Huhi has been looking for flanks all game long, and this time, does he find Palafox here? Licorice can follow up in the engage. Palafox doesn't have flash. The GA's popped. Surely Palafox goes down, and NRG are trying to burn down through the front line, but wait, Palafox gets out. He had flash. And now Dokla gets to with. Oh no, but he can't survive it! It's too much damage for Golden Guardians! NRG now on the run! Palafox has to retreat, he has to reset in base!
Elder is up with a minute death timer. That pick, that kill, that flank from Huhi finds the kill necessary for Golden Guardians to have the big advantage. Elder plus Baron available, and they're trying to cover both. Contracts makes a run. He hits the Q.
He hits the Q, and then Gory has to go golden to crash down. Do they have the Magnus Star? They don't even need it. They does have the damage necessary to take him out. Licorice is in big trouble. He goes golden. The Gargoyle's stone plate is going to be enough to keep him alive. Wait, did they steal Elder? No, they didn't. They secured Elder. Golden Guardian still have it to work with, but it is still a numbers advantage for NRG.
Yeah, that was a great call from NRG. They know that there's going to be people going for the Elder Dragon, so Contracts, as NRG are desperate in their time of need, he finds it. He gets the pick. He gets the Q on Dagori. They find the follow-up. Ignar is there. They get their kills. 3 members from Golden Guardians down, and NRG turn it into Baron, and they turn it into Siege. Top side is open. Can they finish? The face, Elder Dragon buff. It's just the Golden Guardians bottom lane standing against the full might of NRG.
20 seconds left on Gory and River. 20 seconds can feel like an eternity here if NRG just close out the game right here, right now. Teleport is coming in from Dokla. They burned down one Nexus turret easily. This could be it. NRG, they had to fight through thick and thin, but they finally did it! For the longest game of the LCS year, NRG take down Golden Guardians.
We made it over 50 minutes. Over 50 minutes. Golden Guardians, they get the kill onto Dokla, but they split up. They try and cover Baron while taking Elder Dragon. And while Stixxay is taking Elder Dragon in the Dragon Pit, NRG and Contracts find the engage. They catch the split opponents, get the kills, and win the game. Woo!
NRG, man. It seemed hopeless at the end once Golden Guardians team fight